Okay, guys, something a little bit different today, and something that's going to start with a bonus buy on Pirate Kingdom. One of my favourite games from Iron Dog, and I get a lot of requests to play this. This and Megaways Jack. Always fun to see the max amount of spins with that locked in reel. Let's see if we can get any others locked in. And then after that, we will be having an appearance from the man, the maker himself, to see if he can explain why it's either a good bonus or a bad bonus. We've got the end reel locked in. That's not what you want to see. You really want to see either one or two locked in. I have had a really good bonus on this recently. I'm not sure if you've seen that yet, because that's going to be in one of the offline videos. A really, really good bonus on it. We know what it can do. I've seen some fantastic bonuses. I can remember this is one of the first games that I saw a big bonus buy on, and it just went absolutely crazy. If you get those reels locked in, I think it's a great example of the sort of game where it's sort of exponential in as much as the more reels that you get locked in, the more chance. That's an okay hit. That's 345 euros off that. That's a massive hit. And that's unexpected because we only had max on reels 5 and 6, but that's a huge hit. What I was going to say is, the more reels that you get locked in, especially with those early reels 1, 2, or 3, you're then looking towards triggering the additional free spins. You've got more ways, more chances of connecting. It just sort of like the way that this slot is designed. It just goes up and up and up. Every bonus is kind of like a little bit of a damp squib or a knock it out of the park. And this one's going like it's going to be a knock it out of the park bonus. That is massive. One more hit there would have been a retrigger. Hang on, that's a retrigger. 2 more spins. I'm not expecting it. I'm not expecting it. Three spins to go. Has it crashed? No, we're still going. Oh dear, it looks like we might be ending with 3 dead ones. Oh, no! We're locked in on reel 1. Oh, look at those kings. On a times 13 multiplier. 52 euros. We aren't hitting after that, but it's still a fantastic bonus. You just had the last spin there. Yeah, nice. Okay. Well, that makes it easier. That makes it easier to introduce the man behind Pirate Kingdom, Rory.
Right, that was interesting.
Let's just introduce. I'll let you introduce yourself.
Yeah, I'm the account management and marketing director at 1x2 Network, and Iron Dog is our biggest studio. So as you said, that does make it a little bit easier to come off the back of that bonus round, I think.
Yeah, I mean, like that was massive, and yeah, I mean, what sort of response do you get off players? You know, with regard to with regard to games like Pirate Kingdom. Obviously, they're a little bit more established. They're some of your older games. Like, you know, is that a big part of, like, you know, driving what you're doing going forward? Do you take from those games, or are you doing different things, or?
Yeah, I think really it's kind of a case of mixing it up between taking the best bits out of games like Pirate Kingdom and Megaways Jack, and then mixing them with the new stuff we're doing. So you look at Pirate Kingdom was our first Megaways game. We had that tumble trigger that we saw re-trigger in that bonus, etc. And so we're keeping those elements in a lot of them, but then also trying to bring in a load of new things. So a lot of our new games, one of the new games we've got coming out, Rock the Reels next month, has a similar kind of idea with what's going on to Megaways Jack in terms of modifiers and that side of things. So it's just about making the most of it. And the maths, I think, from Pirate Kingdom is probably the best of any of the Megaways games we've done. So that's kind of something that we're trying to base a lot of new stuff on without just directly ripping it off.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of was trying to explain that during that bonus round, but then I kind of got caught up in what it was doing. But I really like the way on Pirate Kingdom in that they lock in when you get to 7, so that's obviously max. You're getting towards the bigger and bigger megaways, and then you've kind of got the more megaways you've got more opportunities for connections, more opportunities to hit those 4 cascades, more opportunities to re-trigger, and it just kind of feels like once it goes off, it really just goes. Phew.
Yeah, and I think you probably saw it with your big spin there. Even the ones leading up to that weren't particularly big wins, you were hitting tiny wins, which is just doing your multiplier, which is why I think in Pirate Kingdom you do see in a big bonus round it often comes in 1 or 2, because the ones where you're actually quite disappointed are still setting you up for the big spin to come along.
Yeah, I mean that's the great thing about all Megaways games, like a lot of the Megaways games with that multiplier, when it is going up. Even I've said this before, even a dead hit, you're kind of not disappointed by it. Do you know what I mean? Like there's nothing like some games you get to the bonus round, and if you've had 6 out of 7 dead spins, they feel like wasted spins. Whereas like with the increasing multiplier sort of dynamic, if that's boosted you up to times 11, times 12, then you're kind of like, well, look, this last spin, if that goes massive, then they weren't wasted. It's a nice idea. Anyway, this is Astro Newts Megaways.
Yeah.
I've had a lot of requests
this is
about
exciting.
Astro Newts Megaways. People just going mad for me to play it, and I said, no, I'm not going to play it. I'm not going to play it because we're doing an interview with Rory, and I want him to explain it to me. So I'm going to stick it on autoplay, and while we autoplay through it, I should just say for anyone, like for the people watching, this is all real money. This is from my balance left over from some play we were doing at Casino Euro the other day. I'm just going to dink this on. And while that goes off, please tell us about it. Tell us a little bit about the background behind it, and then how it works, and all of that stuff.
Yeah, the background behind it, I guess, is probably the reason I'm the person sitting in front of you here and not one of the developers. It came a little bit out of some discussions when we were making Western Wilds, and I was in a particularly excitable mood and decided we should cover the background of Western Wilds in lizards. I got some pushback on that from people that know what they're talking about a little bit more than me. And so I decided to become a little bit childish about it and continuously push for more and more ridiculous lizard games until we ended up with Newts in space. And I think we're a bit far into the development process before anyone realised that it was probably a bit more out there than we thought it was. But, yeah, that's how the theme kind of came about, is well, as many things come about, I guess, me being a bit of an idiot. But yeah, the guys, I mean, they've run with it from a visual perspective. I think you're looking at the things like sort of Rick and Morty style and things that we've seen do well for other people. And our designers are talented guys, and I think they were just excited to be let loose on something that's a bit different. And then in terms of the game itself, maths-wise, it's an interesting one. I mean, we've been trying to put a lot into the base game with the mega fission, which I think we'll see hopefully we will definitely see it in the amount of spins that you're doing here, which is the splitting of one of the tiles to create more megaways after it's landed. So I think that's actually really kind of an interesting, innovative way to keep it in the base game, because obviously with buy free spins these days, with everything that people are talking about in bonus rounds, etc., we've got to balance that with people in the UK that can't do that, and in other jurisdictions. And so there we go, some solid mega fissions there, and then you're hitting the fuels. A lot of the fuels actually come out the mega fissions. I've not yet worked out whether that's a maths-based decision or whether it just seems more lucky when you're splitting the tiles. But yeah, that's kind of what we're aiming to do, is that balance that. There's something in this for the people that can't buy directly into the bonus, but hopefully we will hit the bonus, because yeah, it's probably the sort of longest and most in-depth bonus round we've ever produced, with the different levels and planets.
Yeah, I mean, we're going to see the bonus. We will buy the bonus if we don't, it's unlikely, with any Megaways game, I never expect to put like 100 spins on and land a bonus. Yeah. Just to be clear, so we saw the fuel cells being collected there. Five to trigger, is it?
Four to trigger in the fuel cells, and then hang on, sorry, I'm getting confused between the bonus and the other one. We need 6 to get in to give us 8 free spins, right? And then when you're in the bonus round, then you need 4 to get through to the next level. Right. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, and we will go into that. We will see a little bit more of the levels
That's a good spin. Like, it's a nice cascading spin there. Like, it's one of the things that I enjoy about like all Megaways games is like the ability to, I don't know, when they're not a Megaways game, and like I know that you do your fair share of non Megaways games. You know, last one was Robin.
Robin, yeah. We've had a couple of big ones this year, Blurix Workshop as well. But we kind of mix it up because, as I said at the very beginning, we've got more than one studio. So 1x2 Gaming primarily takes a lot of our tier 1 non-Megaway stuff. And then Iron Dog kind of specialises in that.
Extra Worlds.
Pig on the Moon, yeah, modifier. So again, something that we've been trying to add from the stuff we're learning from non-Megaway stuff, trying to keep more stuff in the base game. So Pig on the Moon is kind of just popping in. It's very similar to the Megaways Jack Harp as well, just randomly on the spins, giving you something to keep you interested. And the hit rate on that's super low. It's like 1 in 20 spins or something. So even the people that are just trying to give things a go, you know, your classic, I've got a $5 in my wallet and I'm just, you know, want a sports bet or whatever, they should see what they're looking for within a few spins. And that's something we're keen to do as we start talking to some of the more cross products operators and stuff, to give them options to get everyone involved in the game.
Yeah, okay, we've got it again. Yeah, you're right. So this is like, that's literally like a 1 in 20 sort of thing.
Yeah.
To get something like that.
Yeah, it's just really, I just think it means that players aren't just sitting there getting to the end of a big autoplay and haven't seen anything, which obviously in a lot of Megaways games you can get to.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, I think that's one thing that games that providers like Blueprint do well. They make sure to like balance out with like a lot of a lot of base game features. You know, keeps it fresh. I think that's more I think Blueprint gets a lot more love in the UK than maybe in like the rest of Europe. Yeah, I don't know. We have like a fair amount of audience all over the world, so it'd be great to get some feedback in the comments about that. But you know, one of the great things that they do is, you know, even if it's just stopping and getting Sloth spinning in on the Goonies or something, and it just does something. You know, even if it's just then it just, like you say, breaks up the spins. A lot of the Megaways games, even some absolute classic Megaways games with huge volatility. They can get a little bit grindy.
Yeah,
that's something that some people like.
Yeah, I mean, you look at the Blueprint ones, I think you're exactly right. That's one of the things they do best. I played a lot in my younger days of the one with the panda, Paws of Fury.
Paws of Fury, yeah.
Spend a lot of time sitting, watching whether his eyes are going to light up, and you're going to see him move more than you're watching the reels, I think, at the end. So I think it's those guys over there were absolutely the people kind of pushing that through to make it so mainstream. But yeah, I kind of agree with you. It'd be interesting. I think it's interesting to see how that is playing outside of the UK. I think we're seeing it a bit more in Sweden now since the regulations have changed. We've had Astro Newts out for 3 weeks now or something, and we're definitely seeing it popular in the Scandinavian regions, and this is our first one with that level of modifiers. So I don't know whether that, again, hopefully some of your commenters will enlighten us if that's something that we're seeing more of in the region. Okay,
I mean, like, and in terms of once we talked about things like playability and stuff like that, and like, you know, I'm just trying to think of like the spectrum of comments that I get, and like in order to fairly like cover them, you know, the Gazelle have questions they want to ask. The first thing is just like, oh, it's never get a bonus. How long is a piece of string? We all know it's random, you know, but in terms of like bonus frequency, what are we talking about? And then in terms of like, you know, how much can I win? That's the other thing. They're the two sort of points that people want to know. So can you sort of cover that in terms, you know? Pointers?
Yeah, I mean, it's an interesting one in terms of how you get a bonus, right? Because there's different levels of what we're talking when we're looking at your hit rates, your bonus hit rate, as well as your as well as the levels of when you're going to hit that bonus. And I think most Megaways games, and from my understanding, there's a lot of people trying to keep that under 300 spins, which is something we were definitely pushing for a lot more than ever with this one. And Astro Newts, because so much of the bonus is in the playability, the base game is quite, you wouldn't want to say, as we talked about with Mega Fishing, etc., it doesn't just serve just to get people into the free spins, but I think the most exciting elements of this, so we kept it under 250 in terms of that. And then if you look at all our Megaways games, in terms of the big wins, you're looking at sort of 25, 40, 50,000 X. And so Astro Newts has got that huge potential in the same way that Pirates does. Pirates, again, another 40,000x game. So that's kind of why we're trying to mix those up and make sure that people are getting the wins like through Mr. Pig regularly, but we're also leaving a lot of the RTP there for those huge wins. Yeah.
Look. Okay, what's one of the things that I, when I talk to other developers and things like that, or when I talk to viewers and stuff, I'll always say, well, look, you want to get like some huge, providers such as, games such as like Dead or Alive and stuff like that, or some of the big new No Limit City ones with these huge X wins, 100,000x, 150,000x. I always say, well, look, do you need to win that much? I mean, from a slot, do you know what I mean? And that sounds crazy because people are like, what do you mean? I want to win as much as I can. But I'm like, well, yeah, but like, if we took the max win down a little bit, you would get more of these, like, still the sort of wins that are going to make your week, they're going to make your month, they're going to make your year even. Like, do you know what I mean? Winning like, 5,000, 10,000x, that's, for a lot of people, that's going to really turn their year around. As opposed to maybe just giving out one or two of those huge wins. But yeah, sometimes that falls on deaf ears. But like, I think that's an important thing to consider as well.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's one of those where if you go too high, you're just straying into basically a sort of weird bastardized version of a jackpot game.
Lottery.
So I completely agree. We're seeing actually quite a lot of interest. So like Astro Newts is actually probably, I think it is the lowest paying Megaways game. We've got lowest max win with 20,000. But as you say, in my view, I'd be very happy with a 20,000x win. Pirates is a 40,000x game, but the way that it's kind of the maths and the pay tables and stuff are structured, it's whilst that win is possible and we have seen pretty damn close to it in the past, it's actually got a lot more left in the lower wins for that mass market element of it. So you're right, it's a bit of a balancing act, and it's something we've been getting right and then perhaps straying slightly from and trying to balance it out. But I think with Astro Newts there, because we brought that max win down just a little bit, I think it gives it that opportunity.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's really good. I think that I think that's so important. Like, I mean, we've got to move on. Can't keep talking about it, but like, I just really think like in terms of those max wins, like people can get too hung up on it. Do you know what I mean? Sometimes people look at the numbers the same way as you could look at numbers like RTP and stuff like that, and that's 64. Yeah, that's 82. That's an 82 euro hit there. You can kind of get like too hung up on those numbers, in as much as one of the games that people often say for me to go to is like, I'll go and play Jam and Jars. Got some huge hits, but like, actually the max win on that is like, is a 20,000x. Like, it just really is one of those things. I think a lot of it comes down to just being like how the experience is for you as a person. That's just like a lot of 50 spins up. So I think it's a good time to maybe buy a bonus and see what we're talking about.
I was just going to say, as we're doing that as well, I think volatility is another one that people often probably misinterpret a little bit, and we're trying to push some alternate things to make sure that we've got something called a probability of money back, which means players should know, or operators will know, if a player's just trying to double their money, this is the game that's most likely to do that. But if a player's a player that wants to make 100 times their money, this game gives them a better option. I think it's just trying to find different metrics to talk about which games suit what players better. Because as you say, what we're all looking for is the best user experience, right?
Yeah. That is a really good idea. Like, that's really, really good. I like that. And it'd be great to see more of that sort of fused back into the player, like, for people to see. But anyway, look.
Here we go.
8 spins. Talk me through Astro Newts, the bonus.
Yeah, so Astro Newts, obviously, as we said before, you need 6 fuels to actually trigger it. But once we're in it, you need 4 to get to the next level. So we're starting on the moon. Obviously, the idea being to travel through space. And the pig, as we've just seen there, helpfully as a reminder, can still pop up and help you out with wilds, etc. But the real aim is to get through into the next level, which in this case is Mars. My video is going on and off, which is not helpful. So we're looking to get to Mars by getting those 4 fuels. And that's when more and more stuff can start happening. And then as you go through the levels, every different thing that you pick up on each planet. that one didn't go as well.
That was a duff one.
Yeah. So basically,
we're going to buy a couple.
I think we need to after that. But yeah, on Mars, you get a Martian character that can pop up and give you extra spins. On the next one, which is Jupiter, then you can lock in your reels. On Saturn, the multiplier goes up twice as quickly as normal. And then the final planet on Uranus, then all those things happen, but as well as the game starts paying both ways. So there's quite a lot going on, really.
They're the fuel
it's just
cells.
about whether we can get all those fuels in.
Yeah, so do all of those things stack through the planets?
Yeah, apart from the Mars Martian, who is obviously a native.
Yeah, only on Mars.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's next level.
Yeah, so we're going through to Mars now. So we pick up some extra spins, and obviously we see a slightly different aesthetic on it. And also we're randomly awarded the 1, 2, 3, or 4. So we got 2, could be worse, could be better. So some more spins, but again, we're just trying to pick up those fuels. It's not started too well, but hopefully we'll see a Martian or someone pop in. And if that was the case, we're going to need him now.
Yeah, we're going to need him now, otherwise we're going to get a 0x.
He's not. Oh wow.
Is that
okay? Yeah, I'm going to blame you for that because it's not something I've seen before. So.
I love that. I mean, like, this is the first. I should just say this is the first of these sort of interviews that we've done. You know, and like. Rory, you seem like a great character, a good laugh, someone for getting on board, and yeah, like there's nothing worse than being put on the spot and like, right, okay, let's look at your game. Oh, I've lost loads of money.
Yeah, I mean, I'm glad that the Pirates one went well at the start. At least we started a little
cover
bit.
It a little bit.
But yeah, I mean, as I said, I've done a lot of bonus rounds on this game before, and I've never quite seen that. So let's hope this one actually pulls through with something a little bit better. I mean, that's a good start, right?
Yeah.
It's I think one of the things we were aiming for with this game is having everything stack up like we said before. So you've still got your pig, you've still got your fission, your mega fission in terms of on these bonus levels, and then hopefully if we can get past Mars, we'll start to see more and more things happen.
This looks like a better round because we're still on spin 1 here. Can the fuel cells drop in on the cascades?
Yes, they can. Yeah. It's obviously not as likely, and as I said before, for whatever reason, I've tended to see them a lot more in the mega fission side of things. But right. they can drop in at any point. So it's never over until it's fully over.
Hopefully, get those other 2 fuel cells and get up to next level. Okay, that could be a good spin, depending on where they go.
Okay.
That's a good spin, isn't it?
Yeah, looks a good one to me. Hopefully we'll pay for something here.
Oh, yes! That's what I'm talking about, Rory. Okay, you get away with it. You get away with it this time.
I mean, I earned a bit of luck, surely, after the last one.
804, nice. Okay. And that's
I guess, yeah, it's interesting, I guess, that it's showing that it's not just going through. Yeah, we're through. Yeah, we're in.
Yeah, I mean, I was not expecting that.
Yeah, just at the last minute, as I say, it's not quite done, and we'll carry 1 over into the next round there, although we didn't do well with that only 1 extra free spin really hasn't helped us out, but who knows, maybe the pick can...
Yeah, that was a nice drop. I like that. I mean, it does sort of give your games. It does sort of give your games a certain character. Like, do you know what I mean? There's a feeling about them. Maybe more so. I don't know. Like, certainly within the bonus, you know, going from playing Pirate Kingdom, coming in and playing this, we've got to have 1 more after that, haven't we? We've got to have 1 more after that.
I guess I'm
just going to sit here all afternoon buying bonuses with you.
Well, the main thing is that we try and push through the planets a little bit, because that's what it's all about, really. Once you start stacking them up, and yeah, obviously it is more and more difficult to do, but as we saw, you don't necessarily need to get the massive wins. But if we can somehow drag our way through to one of the further planets, you really start to see what the game's about. Once you've got your multiplier going up twice speed, and whilst you've got locked reels coming in and everything. So there we go, a fuel cell to start with.
And in terms of like development, how long how many games are you bringing out? You know, I mean, you've talked about some of the games that are coming up. But like, how many games are going to be coming out from like Iron Dog? You know, what's your release schedule?
Yeah, so I mean, Iron Dog are aiming to kind of get more than the Megaways every. Well, it probably looks to be every couple of months, but then we're sort of backload towards Christmas and stuff like that. So we do. I think we did 6 Megaways last year, or that was 6 in development. Sorry, it's not in like a calendar year. And there's more that we're upping. I was getting close there. But yeah, so what we've got really coming up excitingly is Rock the Reels, which is obviously a Rock Band themed Megaways game. Nice. That comes out in August. But it's the band members are all animals and stuff. So we're carrying on with like doing things that are a bit more out there and stuff like that. And then we have Dwarven Gems in September, which I think is probably a bit more of a classic with the horizontal reel. Yes.
That's next level.
Yeah.
Up
That's
to Mars.
what we like to see. Up to
a few
Mars.
More spins would be good. How many? Yeah, what's the most extra spins you can get?
4, but it's equally weighted as well. So we're just as likely to get 4 as we are 1. So.
Oh right, okay, that's nice. That's nice to know.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean that's hopefully helping. We're going to need a Martian or something to pop up soon. I can't believe we've been here twice and not seen anyone yet. But you know, as is the way, I guess, in these things.
Is that the Martian? Yeah, there he is.
And then we get extra spins as well.
Nice.
And there was 2 for each Martian, so that's really pushed us through.
Yeah, so that's next level again. So now we're at Jupiter.
Yes,
so
exactly.
So now we've got the classic Pirate Kingdom 7 lock in. If we can get up the 7-way reel, right? Okay. Okay, right, hang on, and we're next level again.
Although we haven't locked any reels in, we've got enough fuel, so that's the main thing.
Yeah, I mean, and now we can lock on this.
Yeah, you can stack it all.
Right. Okay, that's nice. Is that? Yeah, that's locked.
There we go. A little bit of a tease on that one. Oh, some wilds there.
Come on, this could go good.
Hello.
No premium on the front.
Yeah. It was.
That was still 144.
Yeah, there was a lot of potential there, and it wasn't massive, but you know it helps pay.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah, I think we need something big. Yeah.
That was good. So we saw the 7. What was the extra thing that we got for being at Saturn? What?
So that's where the multiplier, instead of going up 1 with every win, goes up twice.
Right. Okay. Nice. Okay. Yeah, it would be really good. I would love to get to that. I would love to get to that end zone. Are there actual odds of getting to the end zone? I mean, like, it must infuriate people asking for odds on everything, but.
Yeah, I am talking slightly off the top of my head here because I couldn't tell you exactly, but I think it's about 1 in 20 bonus rounds reach Uranus.
Great soundbite.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, just put that one. That's your snippet at the start of it.
Nice. I mean, I do think people are going to play it. I do understand why people are interested in it. Like I say, there's been a few requests in the chat for me to play it, and I was like, no, we're going to wait. We want to hear it from the horse's mouth. Sorry,
yeah. No, I accept that. Yeah. That's part of the job. I think one thing about it is it's not necessarily like completely obvious to the first bonus round exactly what everything adds, even though it is there. You've got to look for a little bit, and so it's great to have been on and explain to some people what they're looking for, and now you know, as you're saying, that you could hopefully play it all afternoon and really go hunting for these things time after time.
Yeah, that's great. I mean, I think we'll give it one more. Like, you know, I mean, I like the idea of giving it one more. I mean, I would just sit here and just buy bonuses all afternoon, but like at some point I have to rein it in.
Yeah. No, I get that. But hopefully we can finish on a high-paying one. And as you say, I was pleased that we managed to get through some of the things. And actually, it's one of those where, because we you know, some people are saying, what speed are you guys going for in bonus rounds and stuff? Well, this is one of them where actually you want to go through quite slowly, right? So you can lock in more reels. You almost want to get your fuels on the last spin of every time, and then reload how many spins you've got, etc. So it's quite an interesting one. It reminds me a bit of the old NetEnt Street Fighter game, where actually the longer it's going on, the better it is for you guys.
Yeah, I mean, like, yeah, it doesn't look like we're going to get that big. Oh, hang on, there's a few tenths, but only on a _2 multiplier. That's where you're punished a little bit.
Yeah, Yeah, unless it's one of those where unless you can get the fuels to build up some of that, sometimes it can be a tricky one. And yeah, it looks like it's not been an ideal,
That wasn't an ideal one, but we did see a good one. And like overall, like I can't roughly what I started playing your games with. Done a few bonus buys there, and overall it's not gone badly at all. I will just stick it on for a few more autos and just give you the opportunity to talk a little bit more about what games you've got coming. A little bit. I know you said just before we started that you didn't have anything to show, but like, go on, tell us a little bit. You said about rocking.
Yeah, Rock the Reels. Rock the Reels Megaways is the 4th of August. We're pretty close to being able to show, and I'd love to come back on and talk you through that one when we're at that position. But it's basically we were talking about modifiers a bit before actually, and that's a lot of what's going on. So the band members can come in on the sort of Bonanza style horizontal reel at the top. And then they have their own different powers. So whether that's adding wilds, placing symbols on, and because they're various different animals, there's an octopus drummer. It's quite good fun. That's nice, the side of things. Nice. And so that's kind of the next one we're going for. And what that is kind of something that we've been trying to push for, which is let the player know what they're trying to get. So it's trying to make it as obvious as possible that the player's looking to hit those animals. And the high-paying symbols as well. We've been working quite a lot of the symbol hierarchy. You're not dead here on this one, actually. Yeah, we've been working hard on the symbol hierarchy of all that kind of side of things, and making sure the players know what the top playing symbols are, sort of instinctively, and know what they're looking for in that game. So that's what we've got with that one. And then we've got Dwarven Gems coming in September, which kind of again there's a character, but he's more modifier based, so he's wielding his axe, and we're just trying to sort of make those characters involved with the games to make them kind of connect with the players a little bit, and that side of things. So they're the next big 2 Iron Dog releases, and then obviously we're mixing those in with what we do from 1x2 Gaming with some of the more fruity slots, and of course I guess what most people will know us for will be branded Megaways. So there's a whole another tranche of those coming out over the summer as well, and some new products as well that we're excited about.
Yeah, that was one of the things I was just going to sort of touch base on. Just the fact that if players have maybe signed up at a casino, and there's a good chance, without wanting to drop all the names of the casinos on here, there's a good chance that they will have played one of your products, and I guess that's important for them to know that they can trust that product. A lot, the branded Megaways, it's I'm trying to think, that taking a lot of its cues from sort of your Pirate King to your 1 million, 1 million BC, but that Pirates, sort of idea.
Pirates is kind of probably the biggest inspiration for the branded Megaway stuff. Mathematically and mechanically, there's a lot of similarities, obviously with some tweaks, because we know that the players we're going to get in a slightly more sort of mass market. They get used in acquisition, etc. a lot. But yeah, I guess it's one of those where some players who maybe aren't as familiar with it or whatever won't even realise that it's one of our games, because it has the casino written all over it rather than anything to do with us. But that's kind of what we've been able to do over the last year, is push a lot of these games out, and I think that's probably what's helping us building these new Megaways games, because every supplier asks for feedback all the time, right? But casino managers, heads of casino, etc. are busy people, but when it's got their own branding on it, they're suddenly a lot more forthcoming with the feedback about what they want and don't want than we've ever seen before. So that's kind of helping us know exactly what they want in certain markets, and we've even got people out there doing slightly different things between a Spanish market and a Scandinavian market and a UK market, and that's teaching us what we think players want. So when we're targeting those with certain titles as well, then we can kind of all build that into it. And so I think it's kind of working both ways on that one. It's helping us get better and better with each of the Megaways. And look, this one's quite out there. Maybe Rock the Reels is a slightly simpler game in terms of what you're looking for, and Dwarven Gems kind of sits in between those, and so it's been really great for us to kind of be able to pinpoint who we're aiming with these things a little bit better.
Yeah, that's really cool. I mean, like I was going to say about the branded Megaways, I just think it's great that I'm just thinking, if I signed up to a new casino and they had their own game, I'd be like, there might be a part of me which just kind of like, I don't know, do I trust that? I like the games that I know, because I know that I can trust them. So I know, you go for the provider because, right, okay, well, they wouldn't associate themselves with something that's going to be dodgy because they're a brand themselves. You're a brand in yourself. So, like, that's great, I think, from a point of view that people can know, right, okay, I've signed up to, I'm just trying to think one that you've done. You've done Novabet, I think you,
Yeah.
I know that, I think you might be doing some, I think you might be doing maybe Skull or Slot Night, one of the two.
Yeah, Skull. That was the call I was on before this. Yeah, they're all. There's a lot lined up, and then a lot of the UK guys as well, obviously. So a lot of sportsbook stuff, and that actually probably plays into what you're talking about there. We're seeing it work really well with brands that have their own trust anyway. So you look at like some classic UK brands, someone like a Betfred or a BetVictor, who have been around for God knows how long now, longer than I've been in the industry anyway.
Yeah.
And you know, they're the ones that players do log on, and they probably have that trust in the operator in the same way. It can be slightly more hit and miss if you're a breakthrough brand of whether players are playing with you with offers, whether it's brand, whatever. And so a lot of the most success we've had on Branded Megaways are these huge companies that have been around for a long time. And that's because it actually turns what you were saying maybe on your head a little bit, because you're thinking, well, someone that's been in the industry for 50 years since shops in the 1970s is exactly the trustworthy brand, as opposed to maybe some of these newer guys on the scene. So it is a balancing act, because you can get caught in between with players.
Yeah, it's going to work both ways. It's going to work both ways.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's been kind of really interesting. And as I say, that's been a project that's been great for us to get involved with, because it helps us build all our other games as opposed to just making Branded Megaways better. So yeah, I think it'd be great. Like, I mean, obviously, it'd be interesting to see from a player's point of view, and the people that you've got, you know, commenting on this and stuff, what their thoughts are on those branded games, or whether it's something that, as a more sort of established slots player, you'd be more likely to ignore because you know what you're looking for, or whether it's something that still gets the still piques your attention to go and see what it is.
Like let us know in the comments. Let us know in the comments about Branded Megaways. If you played any of Iron Dog's Branded Megaways releases, let us know what you think about, well, the whole catalogue. You can give it a read, can't you? Pirate Kingdom. Let us know what you think about this last bonus. Because I'm going to buy one more. I've just been sitting here and you're talking, Rory, and like, no offense, but like I'm going like, you know, I want to buy another bonus.
I'd prefer you enjoyed the slots than me, mate. Don't worry about that.
You can buy me a beer sometime, mate.
Yeah, let's do that when everything's fully easier to travel.
When everything's finally calmed down.
Then you can listen to me, and if I find you playing slots on your phone behind my back, then I'll know that I really am.
Then you know to be offended. Okay, I mean, I do think that, like, you know, despite obviously you're looking for the fuel cells and everything like that, you know, one of the take homes is, you know, we did hit that biggest win, like, without even making it to the next. Making it to the next planet. So, like, you mustn't maybe get fixated on it, but it is like this, like spins like that with like when the multiplier is higher. And especially if you have one of those locked-in reels, you know, that's obviously where it can just knock the socks off.
Yeah, exactly. That's the interesting bit. You can kind of get caught like looking for the story and not realise you've won quite a lot of money. But that's why I think it's not like some of the games out there now are so fast for me that you're kind of just like waiting to see what you've won. I think we've tried, because there's so much going on here, to make sure there's at least a sort of 0.25 seconds to see what you're expecting.
Yeah, that's true. And like, obviously with the new UK regulations and stuff like that, you've got to always have a mind on that. That's a few cascades.
Yeah, it's not over yet.
We're up to 318. Like, do you know what I mean? It's just crawled its way up. We're not even, like, we've not got off planet 1. Like,
and I think some of that just comes from the pig as well, just dropping in the wild that we needed to make that a big win. So there's a lot of different things coming together to make that 400 quid. Yeah,
nice. Okay, well, anyway, like, Rory, like, I'm gonna say thanks on behalf of all of Hideous Slots for like for me not losing all my money.
Well, yeah, that helps, doesn't it? Glad to have been of assistance.
Okay, thanks for joining us. Like I say, I'm gonna say bye to you now, Rory.
Yeah, cheers, guys. See you later.
Yeah. Okay, so that was Rory from Iron Dog talking to us about Astro Newts Megaways. It was great to see his input on some of where he thinks he's going with where they're going with like the games that are going to be coming out, and also his reflections on a few of the bonuses and stuff. And we're going to be doing more stuff like this. We're going to be speaking to more game providers. So if you have any feedback you want to send directly to him, I'll send him across. Nothing rude. Keep it clean. If not, you can catch me on one of my live streams soon. Wednesdays, Fridays, Sundays from 7. Take care. I'll see you then. Bye-bye, guys.